Hi guys! Welcome to my channel, to this wonderful inspirational class. This is an all levels class. It will be challenging in certain poses, but we'll dive in and look into different options. This is also inspired by a previous sequence I've done for myself. So I hope you guys enjoy, and just remember to honor your body and then see what you can do and what you can work on for the future. Okay, let's begin. And we're gonna begin in hero pose. So just allow your whole body to come into the end of the mat. Begin to relax here, lengthen your spine, and just begin to breathe as you allow your hips to rest and become heavier on top of your heels and your feet. Allow your palms to face up towards the sky and just rest. Beginning to close your eyes as you breathe deeply. And you just begin to ground yourself through the breath, through the prana. Allow this moment of silence to just relax you and just begin to awaken your mind, your body, and your spine. We're going to focus on moving fully and mindfully the whole spine. So just enjoy and take your time. Breathing in, begin to open your eyes. We're going to place those hands right on top of our knees. If you don't have any issues or anything that's hurting around the ankles or even the knees, you may go ahead and try to push yourself a little bit back as you stretch your ankles and you engage the core muscles. So try to bring that navel in towards the spine as you breathe deeply. And you relax here, becoming stronger every time. Let's open up our arms and let's get creative here as we slowly roll up our hands from the back towards the front. Gently coming into Anjali Mudra. Try to arch your back, maybe gaze towards the back. Always engaging, navel to spine, and then slowly come back to neutral pose. Breathing in. And breathing out. Once again, breathing in and breathing out. Begin to push your hands forward. Maybe you come into your Vishnu Mudra, allowing those hands to come forward, engage your core muscles, and try to lift up a little bit of your knees off the mat, balancing here by stretching through the ankles, and then relax here one more time. Open up your hands, open up, and then come into the back of the hands, and then rotate. Try to be creative here. Allow your body to move gently, your spine to open up, and then come back to your heart center, Anjali Mudra. We're going to interlace our fingers and begin to push forward. As you breathe in, try to shift your body forward, engage your core once again, and create some circles, starting from the right side all the way up into the left side forward, and then coming to that left side, changing up the sides, creating that rotation through the body, through the hips, and then come back into neutral, releasing here as you push forward once again, and you try to lift up those knees if this is comfortable for you. Try to engage the core, breathe in, and then relax. Open up your arms creatively, maybe bringing those the pointer finger, so the index finger and your thumb together, creating that Vishnu Mudra, and then just relaxing your hands all the way into the mat. We're gonna come into some rolling cobras. Breathing in, bending through the legs, allowing our spine to relax here. Keep those legs bent. Begin to tuck your feet and then relax your hips towards your heels. Begin to just bring your head down. Hang it nice and heavy. As you push through your hands and you round your spine, you come back forward. And then you begin to look up as you arch your back. Arch your tailbone up and then push it towards the back of the mat. And then round your spine once again as you press down and become stronger here. Release those hips down into the mat and bend your legs, your toes. Try to get closer to the crown of the head and then shift back, tucking the toes. We're gonna shift forward through the chest, through the heart. Untuck your toes, come into tabletop. And then begin lifting up that right arm, creating circles. Maybe try to offer something or be thankful for something. Inhale. One more time, moving mindfully and creatively. And then come back up. And then relax that right shoulder into the mat all the way through. You may stay here, relaxing and stretching, or maybe taking a bind to challenge yourself. If you've done this before, you can go ahead and tuck that right foot, slightly put it towards the right side, and then you begin to stretch that left leg all the way out, or maybe lift it up, engaging that core, breathing in, and then relaxing. Once again, release, pressing with that left hand down into the mat, and then push yourself back up. Breathing in, begin to tuck your feet, and then press the hips, the sit bones down into your feet, into your heels, and then walk that right hand behind you. You can stay here, just pressing up. And then, or you can release that right hand and begin to lift up your hips as you arch your back and you open up through that left arm, creating that Vishnu Mudra once again, fingers together or index finger and thumb, and then place it into your forehead. And then relax, move your body as you lay down through that left forearm. So that left forearm presses down. You push through that right hand all the way forward. Stay on your fingertips and walk. Slowly push it back to meet that left forearm. You begin to untuck that left foot and create circles with that right leg through the right side. Breathing in and breathing out. As you begin to relax that right foot down into the mat, the left foot and left knee slightly turns or pivots towards the left side of the mat. Push your body all the way up. You can stay here, or if you have the flexibility, relax that right hand down into that right ankle or right foot or right shin, and then push those hips forward and then elongate through that left arm. Maybe once again you create your mudra here, extending, elongating, and then come back down. Relaxing here, breathing in. And as you stay here, before turning, we're gonna elongate that right hand once again, and then bend your right leg. If you've done this pose before, you can stay here, trying to arch your back. And if you have the flexibility, go ahead and turn and try to look forward. Make sure that you have the flexibility through that right shoulder. Breathing in and breathing out. You may stay here too as well. And then relax. We're gonna come back into neutral to the center of the mat, and then push your hips back. Slide your body back. As you slide those hands even a little bit more forward towards the front of the mat, we're gonna push ourselves and bring your heart forward as you bend both of the knees, connecting that left foot into the right knee, and then arch your back. You can stay here or try to touch with that right foot, try to touch the head, the crown of the head. Release that, both of your knees. Allow that right knee to meet your left knee. And we're gonna place those hips down into the mat, arch once again, and then bend your feet, your legs, relaxing, tucking the toes and pushing back once again, hips towards the heels. Round your spine, round it up. Relaxing here, hips down into the mat, creating that rolling cobra, and then come all the way back. You can begin to untuck your feet and come back into your tabletop. We're gonna come into the left side. So inhale, lift up that left arm, creating those circles. Just being thankful as you move your hands and you try to follow the gaze towards that left hand. Inhale, relaxing here, and then exhale. Draw that left hand underneath you. You can stay here, stretching, or maybe taking that bind behind you with that right hand. If you're tucking and try to elongate, begin to lengthen that right leg, and maybe you even push it up, engaging your core. Try to breathe deeply here. And you're pushing down through that left shoulder. Releasing down. Bringing that right hand underneath the right shoulder and lift up. Push your left arm up. Tuck the toes and then shift your body. Slowly moving that spine, arching. Stay on your fingertips behind you or just on your low back. You can always place a block to help you out, but begin to arch your back here and then create your mudra and bring your fingers towards your forehead. Breathing in and then relaxing. As you relax that right forearm, stretch through the left hand all the way to the front of the mat. Stay on your fingertips and then slide it back to meet the right forearm. As you allow it to meet, untuck your right foot and begin to create circles. To begin to open up through that left hip. And we're rotating that right foot out. Breathing in. And then shift your body as you place that left foot down. We begin to push and shift our body, our torso towards the back of the mat. Again, in here, you can just stay up here. Or you try to push your hips forward and then slide that left hand down to look up. Breathing up, breathing in. Maybe bringing those fingers together. Come back into the front of the mat. Lengthen and lift up your left foot. And then you begin to bend your left knee. You can stay here, breathing in, creating that arch. Or if you have the flexibility as part of your practice, you can tuck that foot maybe. And then try to shift your gaze forward and elevate through the left elbow. Breathing in. And then relaxing here. As you come back to the center of the mat, you push your hips back, take a nice stretch here. Pushing slightly forward through the hands, pressing down, shift your body. Bend through both legs, both knees, and then bring that right foot to meet your left knee. If you're here, you're relaxing through the hips. And maybe you stay here or try to touch the left foot into the head, breathing in. And then relaxing. Bring that left knee down to meet that right knee. Tuck the foot and shift your hips back. Push down. Shoulder blades out, away from each other. Relax those hips down, arch your back. Moving the whole spine. And then bringing those feet close to the head. And then arching your back. All the way back once again. As we walk our hands all the way to the front of the mat, we come into puppy pose. So we want to stack our knees underneath our hips. Create that arch. You can maybe place your forehead down. So forehead down into the mat. As you relax here, if you have that flexibility, just place that chin down into the mat. Be gentle with your body. Notice and make sure it's open through the back of the neck for this pose. As you shift forward, you come down into Locust Pose, relaxing your hips down, and try to stack here nice and long through the arms, 90 degrees in the arms. Try to feel like somebody's pushing your heart, or pulling your heart actually, pulling your heart forward, lengthening your whole body, breathing in and breathing out. Wonderful. We're gonna stretch out that left hand down, or arm out into the side, just like we did on the previous sequence. But if you don't have that flexibility, because we'll be turning, I'll show you first. So you're bending that right knee. You can stay here. Make sure your left shoulder feels nice and comfortable to come into this deep stretch through the shoulder. But if you're not feeling it today, or just that area, just make sure to stay on the forearm, the left forearm, so that you can come and push that right knee out into the back behind that left leg, and just stay here, okay? If you're stretching, that deeper stretch, just like the sequence, stretch out that left arm, and then we're gonna do the same, push ourselves to the back. Be mindful. Just be gentle. Come back to center. We're gonna elongate through that left arm, stretch it through, elongate the right arm, and then begin to roll. Roll into the right side. Breathing in. Be playful. If you're here, you can stay here, just elongating. Give you different poses to try out. You can elongate your legs, try to flex your feet, or maybe if you have a little bit of a core challenging here, but if you have that activated, your core muscles, you can try to push and elevate your hips over your shoulders. So you go ahead and push your hips over so that you can stay here. If you have to grab your big toes, you can grab them. Breathing in, this is more advanced, so make sure you're just stacking and breathing here, stacking those hips on top of the shoulders, and then just maybe gazing towards the navel. If you're here, we're gonna try to roll all the way up, breathing in, engaging the core. If your feet fall, go ahead and bring them back up. We're breathing in. This only comes through practice, so just be gentle and have patience. As we release, engage the core, extend out your arms, nice and long together, roll back into the mat. Have fun with it. Have fun with your pose. Come back into Locust. You can stay here, just breathing in. One more breath. And breathing out. We're gonna do the same on that right side. So elongate that right arm if you feel comfortable, or go ahead and stay on your forearm here, pressing it down. So we're beginning to bend that left knee or left leg into 90-degree angle. And then we begin to push our bodies through that left hand, push your left leg all the way behind that right leg. If you have it extending out, I'll show you. So your palm is facing down. We're feeling comfortable here to push ourselves to this flexibility. So a little bit more advanced, but breathe in. And breathe out. As you come back towards the mat, try to extend out that right arm. Let the left arm meet that right arm and begin to roll out into the left side of the mat. Breathing in. You can stay here just like we did before, maybe stretching out through your feet or pushing your body. If you're trying to come forward, you can also just try to help out with your hands. So if you try to lift up those hips over the shoulders, you can press your hands to support you here and come into a nice plow pose. If you were here and you just push yourself all the way through, begin to grab those big toes with your peace fingers. Staying here, gazing at the navel. And just when you're ready, push yourself, roll, engage your core muscles. Lengthen your legs. You can stay here or maybe challenge yourself to open up. As you awaken those core, open up through the legs into a nice V shape on the legs. So breathe in and breathe out. Coming back to center. Try to bring those feet together and then lengthen one more time. Being playful, roll back into the mat. You did a great job. Bending your arms, breathing in, resting through the heart, through the mind. Begin to open up your arms along the sides, all the way forward, maybe bringing those fingers together. As you begin to bend that right knee, try to grab it with your arms. Staying here, just pressing down, or you have the option to press or push back with that right foot into the palms, into the hands. So as you arch your back and you engage, pressing through the pelvic floor muscles, trying to keep that right knee close to the left leg, maybe gazing slightly up, you engage and create some strength around the spine. Relax here. Bring those arms over to the front of the mat. You are going to begin to do the same thing. So bring your fingers together, bend your left knee and grab it with your hands. Grab your left foot. Staying here, just pressing down, working our way to this practice that can be challenging, but allowing ourselves to try it out by honoring ourselves and our bodies. So arch your back, kick back through that left foot, maybe gaze up, breathing in, and then relax, breathe out. Release your left foot down, open up through your arms. And if you're taking this further, if you've tried this before, come into your bow pose. So we're pressing your feet down, staying here. Your hands are on top of your feet. And if you're coming into a full bow pose, just press through the pelvic floor muscles. Once again, reach up through the collarbones, through the heart, and then press back through the feet. Relax and just breathe in here. Good job. We're gonna press your hands underneath your shoulders and push ourselves back. Breathing in and breathing out. Tuck your toes. And then try to lift up your hips. Come into a downward dog pose. Relaxing here, softening, finding your alignment through your feet, hip width apart, and your hands shoulder width apart. As you're here, we're gonna begin to round our spine just like we did before. Coming into plank pose, and then bend your knees, slightly hover through the mat, and then lift up your hips all the way up into a quick downward facing dog. Push your body forward and back into plank pose. Bend those knees and just begin to engage the whole spine. Releasing, hovering, and then lifting up your hips. Becoming stronger here. Release both knees down. Come back into the mat, into that tabletop. Breathe in here. And then step or pivot that right foot out into the right side of the mat. Stretch through the left leg. Elongate here. Left arm all the way up. We're pressing down through that left foot. The left foot is parallel to the back of the mat. And then we're bringing that right, engaging the core, bringing that right foot in and up. You can stay here, left hand overhead, breathing in. And then relaxing your left hand down. Come down. Or come back into a nice core downward facing dog. Breathing in, inhale, lift up into your three-legged dog. And then gently bring that right knee back in. Release it down, left foot behind your left wrist. You can stay here, wherever you're at, you can bend that left knee. Or stretch it up, coming to your half pigeon pose. We're flexing that right foot, breathing in. You can take it as far as you like, so open up your arms. If you're supported through the low back with your core muscles, begin to be playful through your hands, rolling those palms. Hands to Anjali Mudra, hands to heart center. And come back down, breathing in and breathing out. If you have your full pigeon pose, this is the perfect time to do it. So go ahead and bring that right foot slightly in, left knee in. You can stay here, left foot. Or coming to your full pigeon pose. Again, try to be mindful here, breathing in. If you want to create that Vishnu Mudra, place that right hand on your right knee and create it, breathing in and breathing out. Relax here, come back down. If you want to create more awareness through the core, and if you have this pigeon pose created, or if it's part of your practice, so you feel really comfortable with it, you can tuck that left foot. This is going to be challenging, so just be mindful. Don't try it if it's not in your practice. So go ahead and maybe lift up that left leg, see how you feel. You can stay here or place those blocks to support you, or just engage your core muscles and bring that right hand to heart. So bringing maybe those hands to your forehead, into your heart, and then release here, coming back down. As you press through the palms, we're gonna untuck the back foot and push our bodies, both of our legs, towards the back of the mat as we try to bring your foot closer to that left knee. And the left foot comes out into the left side of the mat. The right foot presses down right next to the left knee. Might be a little bit confusing, but go ahead and stay here. Or walk your hands, shift your hands all the way to the back of the mat and create a nice hands to heart center. So breathing in, pressing down, creating that twist for your body and your spine. And then release. release, shifting slightly towards the front of the mat. We're gonna bring that left foot slightly out, and the right leg is gonna stretch here. We can stay here, just pressing down if this feels good. You have the option to slightly shift back if this feels good on the left knee. So the left foot slightly out, left on the side of the left thigh. If you are here and you try to grab it with your peace fingers, that big toe, you can lift up that right leg, breathing in, and then you release the right foot down into the mat. If you want to stretch here, lengthen the spine, inhale, and then exhale, release. Just sliding your heart down, melting your heart into the mat. Rolling back up. As you're here, we're going to push ourselves, slowly creating a low lunge here. You can stay here, or if you want to deepen your stretch, try to bend that left knee. Maybe some blocks underneath your hands, or if you have the flexibility, go ahead and bend that left knee, your left foot, to try to come closer to the head. Always opening up the spine, releasing gently, and then placing that right foot back into the mat. Come back into your tabletop. Breathing in and breathing out. So once we're here, we're gonna tuck the toes, shift our hips up, back into downward facing dog. We're gonna press forward, rounding our spine, creating a nice engaged plank pose. Hover your knees, press it back. And this is challenging, so if you need to take a break, go ahead and take a break. Go ahead once again, hovering one more time. Just pressing back, nice and gentle. When you're ready, just release your knees down, come back into tabletop. Again, you may stay here if you like, or try to pivot that left foot out into the left side of the mat this time. We're gonna press through the right foot down. I'll try to relocate myself. So pressing down here, coming to a nice half circle, breathing in. The right arm, it's in line with the right ear. You can stay here or try to push your left knee up into creating engaging the core. So coming into a nice side plank, and then releasing down that right hand. Stay on that left knee into the core, and then elevate it and lengthen your left leg, three-legged dog. As you exhale, bring that left knee in into your chest, and then release. Into your three-legged dog, and then bring that left knee back into the chest, and then relax it down into your pigeon pose. So your left foot is behind the right wrist. And then you begin to relax here. You can bend that right knee depending on where you're at. You can support your hips, or go ahead and come into your half pigeon pose, stretching all the way through that right leg, breathing in. Again, you can stay here if you're working towards spine flexibility and you feel comfortable here. Go ahead and open up your arms, create those rolling through the hands, those creative movements with the hands. And bring those hands to heart center. Gently and slowly. As you relax here, this is a perfect time for you to come into your full pigeon pose if it's in your practice. Once again, go ahead and grab that right foot and begin to arch your spine to grab it with both hands. If you feel comfortable arching your back, trying to keep those elbows together. If you want to create that Vishnu Mudra, go ahead and place that left hand down towards your left knee. Relaxing here, coming back into your half pigeon. I'm gonna open up a little bit of that left foot. And if I want to engage the core, make this more challenging, we're gonna relax and gently press that right knee up. If we're here, we're pressing, engaging, and lifting slightly out through that left hip. Breathing in. Maybe hands to heart center. And then come back down. Be nice and gentle. When you begin to push your body, nice and gentle. Bring that right foot out into the right side, and then your left foot close to the right knee. So we're here. Again, you can stay here, be mindful of your knees, or shift your hands towards the back of the mat, and then create your hands to heart center, your Anjali Mudra, and bring that right elbow into the outside of the right knee. Create a nice twist here, breathing in. And then relaxing, shifting your hands towards the front of the mat, slowly pivoting that right foot as you kind of lift that left heel over the right knee. If you're sitting here, you can bring that right foot out to make sure you feel comfortable here, or you can sit on top of something to elevate your hips. If you're lengthening, notice, be mindful, and check on your body of what it's telling you. Our bodies are so intelligent, so just listen to it. Take a moment to pause. If you're here, you want to continue, go ahead and pick that left big toe and with your peace fingers. So go ahead and grab it. If you're here, right hand on your hip, you can elevate and try to engage the core for this as well. Elevating that left foot, breathing in. And then relaxing it back down. If you are folding forward for a deeper stretch, you can support it with your hand or just keep that right hand on your hip. And then try to gaze towards the left ankle. Breathing in, keeping your spine nice and long. And notice the release that's happening on your low back, your lumbar spine. Feels delicious and amazing. Come back up and then push your body all the way forward. You can stay here on your low lunge, or if you're bending that right knee, go ahead and begin to arch your back. Maybe grab some blocks, stay here, or arch if you feel comfortable and it's part of your practice. Releasing here that right foot down, and then shift your left foot back to meet the right foot. So breathing in, come back into downward facing dog. Staying here. If you want to challenge yourself, maybe you come into your fingertips and slowly walk. Walk through the tippy toes, or just walk slowly towards your hands. Staying here, working on your balance, elevating your heels, and then relaxing them back down, folding forward. Keep Bring your feet together. And then open up your arms. Begin to create those creative movements through your arms. The back of the palms begin to face and roll towards the front of the palms. Go ahead and stretch your whole body. And so Anjali Mudra. Arch your back. Open up, begin to bend your knees. Coming to Utkatasana, your chair pose. And then sway your arms forward. Once again, roll through the hands. Hands together or facing each other. And then just begin to open up. Folding forward. And then lift up through that right knee all the way up. Stay here, begin to push as you lengthen that right leg. Push through your hands. Point through that right foot. And then begin to gently come into your warrior three, working on your balance. Try to gaze towards a nice focal point, your dristi. Maybe fingertips together. Lengthen through that right foot. Gently bend through the left knee. And then pivot your right foot out to come into a side lunge. And here you can support yourself through the hands down into the mat, just like this. Or if you're practicing today with me, a little more advanced, just roll up through the hands. Gently bending slowly through that right knee and coming into your side lunge. Releasing your hands, your arms down. Open up into your lizard lunge. You can stay here, releasing your back knee, untucking the back foot, or you can sway that right arm behind you as you bend your left knee or your left leg. Go ahead and stretch here. Feeling stronger and more open through the spine. As you pivot both feet, you lift up. So pivot both feet to the knife edges, to the outside of the knife edges of your feet, and then open up your arm to cactus arm. Breathing here, feeling strong. Release that right hand down, just on the inside. And then from here, stay on your fingertips. We're pivoting that left foot, staying on the ball of the left foot. You can stay here or try to sway from side to side. See how you feel. Releasing down. We're gonna push our bodies gently, coming into a side plank. You can stay here, stacking both feet together, just like this, and lengthening that right arm up. Or if you're pushing yourself, challenging yourself today, go ahead and pivot that left foot out and then lift up that right leg. Oops. Or if you're pushing yourself a little bit more, go ahead and pivot that back foot out. Press through that left foot and then lengthen that right leg up. As we bend your right knee or right leg, bring the right foot into the knee and then lengthen through the arm. Release down and back into your wild thing. Bringing those fingertips together, back into the forehead, and then come back up. Three-legged dog. As you exhale, bring that right knee to the core, to the chest, and then release your right foot down. You can use those blocks underneath your hands to support you here, or come into your pyramid pose, staying on your fingertips. Breathing in and breathing out. As you breathe out, you shift or try to press that right head back. Maybe your fingertips come behind you. This more advanced, so just try to be mindful, micro bending that right knee. Go ahead and release, and then pivot that right foot slightly in to come back into your side lunge. Hands to heart center, breathing in. Or just supporting yourself with your hands. Remember, we don't want to overstretch. We just want to be playful of opportunities and options we have here. Everybody's different, so go ahead and gently, if you're walking your hands towards the front of the mat, you can do that just like this, or I'll go ahead and show. If your hands are on Anjali Mudra, you can press yourself all the way up, engaging the core, becoming stronger, and then releasing down. Breathing in. And then step that left foot back. Knees down, hovering. Just one time. You can stay on your fingertips or just pressing down to walk your feet towards the front of the mat. Feet together. Begin to elevate, elongate your whole body all the way up. Rolling your hands creatively as you breathe deeply, hands to your forehead, and then gently into your heart. Bend your knees, open up your arms, move mindfully and slowly. Once again, chair pose. Exhale, fold. Vishnu Mudra. Your hands. And then gently begin to push yourself as you lift up your left knee. Once you're here nice and balanced, you focus on your drishti. Push your hands forward as you lengthen that left leg. Breathing in, point your left toes. And then relax, shifting your body forward. Relax all the way into your warrior three, Virabhadrasana 3. Staying slightly bent through that right leg. Step your left leg back. Pivot it out. And then slowly and gently just hover or move your hands towards the back of the mat as we begin to bend to that left leg. Again, supporting yourself with your hands or rolling your hands, making it nice and fun to come all the way down. Breathing in and breathing out. You're gonna walk or shift your body, walk your hands towards the back of the mat, coming into your lizard lunge. You can stay here. Maybe you relax that right knee down, untuck the back foot. And if this is part of your practice, bend that right knee. Try to grab it with your left arm, your left hand, and you're stretching here. As you allow that left knee to gently hang heavy through the left side of the mat. Relax here, stretch through that right leg. Bring that left hand all the way back into the mat. Breathing in and breathing out. As you're here, we're gonna lift up that right leg. When you're ready, right knee up, and then open up into your cactus arms, pivoting your feet towards the knife edges, so the outside edges of your feet, and then shift back down. Stay here. The right foot or toes are facing the back of the mat. You can stay on your fingertips or pressing down through the palms, and then maybe hover here, shifting your chest, your heart from side to side. Come back down, breathing in. When you're ready, you can come into your side lunge, side plank. So from here, you can stay here Or again, if you're challenging yourself, push that left foot all the way out and up as you press down nice and firmly through that right foot to lengthen and lift up your left leg. Bend your left knee when you're ready. And then shift your left leg back into wild thing. Create your Vishnu Mudra through your forehead. And then come back into your three-legged dog. Inhale, lift up. Lengthen through that left leg. As you exhale, left knee in. And then release it down. Try to press that right foot or right heel down into the mat. Staying here, supporting yourself through maybe some blocks underneath your hands. Staying here on your fingertips. Always try to micro bend that right knee and check on that right foot, that right calf. And then if you are taking that deeper stretch today, go ahead and try to shift that left hip back towards the front of the mat. Breathing in and out. Shift your hands towards that left foot and then pivot it out towards the left side of the mat. Come into your side lunge. Hands to heart center. If you're walking, you can just try to push your hands towards the front of the mat or stay on your hands to heart center. And then push your body up when you're ready. And then come back down. Staying here. We're gonna lift up and take a nice twist, lift up, lengthen through the right leg. Breathing in. And then release that right hand, that left knee. And then push your hips all the way into the back of the mat. We're gonna place that left foot down. You can stay here if this is where you're at, or you have to press those hips and glutes down into the mat, you can do so. But if you want to engage your body a little bit more and challenge it today, just keep it here. And then we're gonna lift up through that right big toe with our peace fingers. We're gonna lift up our right leg. Hands can be supporting us, the left hand, or it can be on the left hip. And maybe we begin to switch up our hands. So the left hand comes to the outside of that right foot. You try to take a twist, maybe keep it here on your hip, or open up and stay, keep that drishti into the back of the hand. So breathing in, staying here, come back to center, and then push yourself to bring that right leg all the way up into your standing splits. Breathing in. Relaxing, folding forward. Bending that right leg. And then try to place that right hand underneath your right shoulder as we try to grab here. If we're staying here or coming all the way into your 8 angle pose, go ahead and grab with your left hand the outside of that right foot, and then lengthen that right leg away. Try to hover with the hips and then lift up, push yourself all the way up. And then exhale, cross through that right foot behind your left foot. Fold forward. Walk your hands a little bit closer to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift up that right leg. So we exhale, we're bending and shifting forward. You can stay here or try to take a vinyasa here. Lengthen that right leg, come all the way up. And in here, we're tucking the toes to engage our core a little bit more. You can always untuck Try to lift up into your upward facing dog. Lift up your hips. Come back into downward facing dog. Good job. We're gonna inhale that left leg, three-legged dog. Bring that left knee back into your chest, and then step that left foot into the front of the mat. Inhale up, take that twist up through that left arm. Release the back knee, release your hand, and then push your body all the way back as you tuck that right foot. You can stay here, see where you're at. Notice how your knees feel as well. If you can press that right foot all the way down, once again, you can stay here or try to lift up with your peace fingers. Grab that big toe. Try to support yourself through that right hand and lift up your left leg. Breathing in and breathing out. Maybe right hand can be on your hip, or you can try to twist here as well. So go ahead and grab the outside with your right hand, the outside of your left foot. Release your left hand, and then maybe shift or gaze towards the back, towards that left hand. Come back to center. We release that right foot, and then we press all the way up into our standing splits. Breathing here. Maybe we bend our left leg. Staying here, seeing where we're at with patience. Left hand underneath the shoulder. We try to grab the top or the outside of the left foot with that right hand. And then we press our hips down as we lengthen through that left leg. Gazing forward, engaging here our core. Lift up all the way up once again, releasing that right hand. And then exhale. Cross your feet, fold forward. Walk your hands all the way towards the front of the mat. Lift up your left leg. As we shift our bodies forward into a plank pose, we bend that left knee, and then we take up Vinyasa. Lengthen that left leg. Inhale, tucking the toes. Breathing in. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Roll your spine. Come into a plank pose. Hover the knees, bend your knees. Push yourself back up in your hips into your downward facing dog, your Adho Mukha Svanasana. Roll back into plank pose, nice and strong. Hover your knees, lift up your hips. And then exhale, release your knees. Done wonderful. Press your hands forward. And then release your hips as you bend those knees once again. Arch your back. Gaze back. Close your eyes. And then just untuck your toes. Release your hips into the heels. And then come back to your beginning. Breathing in, palm facing up. And palm facing as you breathe here. Come back to your beginning, to see how far you've come, to see how playful you've been. To breathe in deeply and mindfully. You've moved your spine. You've engaged your core. You've opened up your heart. And you've become a little more creative today with this practice. I am invite you to thank your body and thank yourself for being here tonight. Hands to heart center. Breathe in and breathe out. Thank you so much for practicing today with me. Namaste.